It's Sasuke after Shippuden. He's healed up, he's jailed up, and he's alone, suffocated by his own guilt. He knows that his actions were wrong despite his motivations being just, despite his thirst for revenge being understandable. He knew that he hurt the only people left that cared about him and that he cared about. He had already lost his whole clan and his brother. And then he proceeded to sever every other bond left, every other connection between himself and the world, to turn himself into the devil for revenge, for thirst of blood, and for humanity's sake. He hated war, he hated bloodshed, he hated rage, he hated the fact that his brother was forced into a corner, into choosing between thousands and hundreds. And he did what he felt was the only thing that could help. Why allow more people to die when I can just end less people's lives and save the rest? And instead of a prolonged war that could last for ages, one short night of murder and bloodshed and pain. A decision that he understood, and he decided he wanted to do something unique. He wanted to unite the worlds with fear and power. One common goal, and that is the hatred for him, that he would be the source of unity. But unfortunately, the world does not function that way. Another boy was just as powerful, just as driven, but with a different mindset. In that ensuing battle, he recalls the love poured into each fist, bloodshed, broken tooth, and the arms that they both lost. A battle of ideology that he lost. He also recalls being saved by the lady he was willing to off. Not too long ago, he was ready. He was in the darkest place of his life, and he no longer cared nor understood about restraint or thought about anything but blinding rage. See, he had just discovered the truth about his brother. He had just discovered the truth about the Uchiha clan and the ill fate that they have been forced to succumb to. Despite all this, she still saved him. He didn't deserve her love and admiration. He didn't deserve anything anymore. And this what it was, his only thought within the confinements of a jail cell that he was stuck in. He could escape anytime if he really chose to, but he wanted to make things right in his own twisted way. So he stayed and stayed and stayed, never complaining, never arguing, never bickering, just contemplating, sitting, thinking, meditating, retracing steps, thinking of other outcomes. What if he had accepted Sakura's love before he left, in search and pursuit of power? He decides that there's only one thing left that he could do, one thing left that he could give back to those that stuck by him through it all, to those that showed him a similar love to what Itachi showed him. Without the pain, without the blood, without same type of psychological warfare. It was just pure love and friendship and honesty. and he wanted to repay that. He also wanted to restore his clan. He doesn't feel right about letting them off, but what can he do? Orochimaru. He's finally been freed and let go. Despite his war crimes, he even said that he deserves more time, but Kakashi and Naruto refused and said that no, you also helped save the world. You deserve some kind of leeway. He was accepting and pushing for execution at first, but they refused. You admitted defeat, Sasuke. So you must take whatever punishment we give. And so when he left Konoha, he was surprised. Sakura wasn't there. He said goodbye to Kakashi, Naruto, and Shikamaru was there just for the sake of Naruto. Sakura was not. He wondered, but he didn't speak it. He didn't say it out loud. Unbeknownst to him from a distance, Sakura watched. She turned away and left immediately. And Sasuke left too. On his journey, he decided he would protect the village by any means necessary, protect those that cared for him and chased him for so long. He'd keep them safe in his own way. And so he hunted and avoided killing at all costs, avoided to create the same pain that created people like Nagato, like Obito. Murder was the last option he would never succumb to. If he must genjutsu them into docile, then he will. But he refused to murder. So he continued his journeys for many years, many months, many rains, many sunshines, many sleets, many hail, many snow. Occasionally he would meet up with Haka, showing them a little bit of love for the love that they showed him. And then an idea came true and he discovered about Orochimaru and his new role with Konoha. And he returned and talked to him about creating a clone, a baby. During this time and his travels, he also wrote letters to Sakura. Letters in his own way, simple things. A thank you was the first letter he wrote. For everything, he said. He received no reply. But every few months, when he updates Naruto about the things that he sees outside, he writes something short for Sakura. One thing that he wrote was that I discovered the beauty of nature today. These little notes were just his own way of reassuring and showcasing just how you chased me for all these years. I am now willing to chase you and to regain your trust and your support. One day, he did receive a letter back. It simply read, "Thank you for these letters, Sasuke." You see, for many years, Sakura did not believe these letters were from Sasuke. She believed that Naruto wrote these on behalf of Sasuke in order to make her feel better, because she decided that she would just be alone and she doesn't really feel or want to be with anybody. She just wants to focus on being a ninja. She went on her own travels and became far more powerful as well, healing and helping other villages, learning and teaching, especially those villages which lacked a military might Sasuke was aware. But because her traveling was so unbeknownst and so random, it was difficult for the letters to reach her at her destination, so he always sent the letters back to her home in Konoha, where she would return from her journeys and see a single letter, always from Sasuke. She was angry and confronted Naruto. Why do you keep sending me these? Naruto told him, I didn't. I wouldn't. It wasn't me. She wouldn't believe it. She argued and bickered and moaned, and he told her, go ask the carriers. The summonings that he sends. The birds. And one day when the birds arrived, Sakura was there and she saw 2 letters. One to her place and one to Naruto. She didn't want to get her hopes up again, so she just said, I'll reply, because it's been many letters for many years, and even though he never returned anything back to me for all those years, I don't want to do the same to him. And so she returned the letter saying, thank you. She didn't ask him to come back or to stop his missions or to do any such things. She just said thank you, and she cried alone in her room, thinking, what am I doing with my own life? And Sasuke, when he was talking to Orochimaru, he talked about cloning and how it's best if they have 2 chromosomes, the Y and X chromosomes, and to create an ideal child. He thought about Karen because of her chakra nature, but he felt he wanted the compassion of Sakura. He wanted a child with the same compassion. And so he asked for her DNA. And it took her some time to reply, and he waited and waited and waited. And they met for once, the first time in 4 to 5 years, and she was still a little shy. And he hugged her for the first time and smiled at her for the first time. And she broke down in tears, overwhelmed and surprised in herself that she still cares after all these years, after trying to shut it all away. She still feels for this boy. She just always knew there was something more in him. He was just going down the wrong path. The same boy that tried to murder her. She tried to shut it all away. She willingly gave her DNA and she began to leave, and he asked her, can I join you in your journey? She cried again. She said, no. And she walked away. Eventually the child would begin to grow, and she'd come to visit often to see the child. And together they would bond over the child. Sarada was her name. She had a rare eye defect, something to do with the cloning gone slightly wrong. She could see, but colors and things were too intense, so she wore glasses that dimmed the light a little bit and made things focused a little bit more. And so, within the bond of Sarada, they became closer and closer until eventually they became one. But knowing Sasuke and his ways, marriage was never going to be in the cards. They just are, without any words, without any confirmation, with just knowing and feeling, they became one. Love like no other. Bond forged in iron. Thank you. It's been your boy Supreme Uchiha the God. I hope you guys enjoyed that little romance story between Sakura and Sasuke, and the conception of Sarada. What do you guys think? Shout out to a guy that commented on one of my videos. He didn't say any of this, but his comment is what gave me the inspiration to think of this. His name is Opaluni. Shout out to Opaluni. I hope you've been subscribed, you know what I'm saying, so you can see this. If not, look, thank you regardless. And yeah, much love. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you fuck with this. I might do more of this. I'll try to do more of this. I have a Halo one and a few other ones, but I have to like conceptualize it fully in my head so that I can just freestyle it clean. You know, it's kind of tough not writing it and just saying it out. But I also feel it gives it like a natural feel, you know what I'm saying? Like a natural pizzazz. But anyway, I'm out. I'm out.
I got friends now. You ain't know, but I got friends now. I'm balling out with my friends now. You ain't know what I got friends.